You're looking at your own face and you don't recognize it. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way you'd tell anyone, just you're standing in front of the mirror and there's a half second where something doesn't land. The nose is where a nose should be, the eyes look back, but the whole arrangement feels like it belongs to someone you've seen before but don't actually know. You look away, you move on, you don't mention it. This has happened to you more than once. Maybe in photographs. Someone tags you in something and you tilt your head at it, not because you look bad, but because you look like a stranger who happens to share your haircut. The shape of the jaw is all wrong, or too right. You can't place it. And then someone says, "Great photo," and you say thanks, and the feeling evaporates before you can name it. Sometimes it happens mid-conversation. Someone is talking to you. Really talking, leaning in, saying something that matters to them. And somewhere behind your eyes, you drift. You're still nodding. Your face is still doing the right things, but you're watching it happen from slightly too far away, like a camera that pulled back without telling you. You catch yourself planning what to say next while they're still speaking. And then they pause, and you come back, and you say something that sounds right, and they can't tell. They never can. One day, you're getting coffee. The light is good. You're looking out the window at something ordinary, a car pulling out, a dog walking past. And the moment is fine, objectively fine, maybe even the kind of moment you'd remember. But there's a layer of glass between you and it. You can see it perfectly, you just can't quite reach it. And later, when you try to remember how it felt, you realize you were watching it the whole time. You were never actually in it. None of this is any dramatic at all. That's the part that makes it strange. You're not confused about who you are. You're not having a crisis. You're just slightly out of step with your own life. Present enough to function. Absent enough to notice. And the noticing doesn't help, because the more you watch yourself noticing, the further out you seem to drift. You didn't build this. It just started happening. And the strange part isn't that it happens. The strange part is how normal it feels. Here's what's easy to assume. That something is wrong with attention, that you're distracted or tired or not trying hard enough to be present. But that's not what's happening. Think about the last time you drove a route you've driven 100 times. You arrived, the car is parked, and you have almost no memory of the last 10 minutes. The turns happened, the stops happened. Your hands did exactly what they needed to do. You just weren't there for it. That's not absence. That's the opposite. It's a system that got so good at something it stopped needing you to show up for it. This is the same thing that happens in the mirror. Your face has been processed 10,000 times. The software knows it. It's filed, categorized, handled. So when you look, really look, the way you'd look at something new, the system has already moved on. It handed you a summary instead of the experience. You got the report, you missed the room. And here's where it gets stranger. The more you try to fix it, the worse it gets. You stand closer to the mirror. You stare until the word for what you're looking at starts to dissolve, the way any word does if you repeat it long enough, until it stops meaning anything at all. You're trying to force the feeling of recognition. But recognition isn't something you can force. It either arrives or it doesn't. The conversation works the same way. You've had thousands of them. You know the rhythm, when to nod, when to laugh, when to pause before you speak, so it sounds like you were thinking. You got fluent. And fluency is quiet. It runs underneath, handling the mechanics, while the part of you that notices things floats just above it, watching. Not checked out, watching. That's the distinction nobody talks about. You're not absent from your life. You're observing it. And the observer and the participant are not always in the same place at the same time. Two people are in a conversation. One of them is living in the present moment. The other is a time traveler. They've already run the simulations. They've seen the 3 ways this sentence could land. They've played out the likely responses. They've mapped the emotional dead ends and the conversational shortcuts. While one person is experiencing the street-level reality of the moment, the time traveler is in a helicopter looking down at the map of the city. They see the whole grid. They know which roads are closed. They see the traffic jam forming 3 blocks away. This makes them a brilliant navigator. They can steer the conversation with incredible precision. But they are never just walking. They can't feel the pavement under their feet. They can't hear the sounds of the city. They only see the map, the abstraction, the pattern. So the question isn't why you feel out of sync. The question is what you got so good at that the sync broke. Go back to the mirror. Same face, same arrangement of features that never quite lands as yours. But now there's something else in the room. The fact that your brain did this because it was doing its job. It saw your face so many times it stopped seeing it. It heard your voice so many times it stopped listening. It sat in so many conversations it learned to run them on its own, leaving you, the part of you that notices things, standing slightly behind the glass, watching the performance go off without you. You didn't drift away from your life. Your life got processed. And the person watching the processing, the one who catches their reflection in a shop window and startles, the one who comes back from the middle distance mid-conversation and hopes nobody noticed, the one who holds a cup of coffee in good light and feels the glass between them and the moment, that person has been paying attention the whole time. Just not to the right layer. The part that runs the body, handles the small talk, navigates the familiar route. That part is fast and quiet and very good at its work. And the part that wants to actually be there, in the moment, in the mirror, in the room with the person who's talking, that part keeps arriving a half-second too late, like someone who got the address but missed the start. This isn't new. It's been running this way for a long time. Every time you looked at a photograph and thought, is that really what I look like? Every time you said something in a conversation and heard it come out flatter than you meant it to. Every time you stood in a moment that should have felt like something and watched it pass through you instead of landing. You were noticing the gap. You just didn't know what the gap was between. Now you do. And here's what stays with you. The observer didn't fail. The observer is the one who noticed. The observer is the one watching this right now, doing that thing it always does, standing slightly behind the eyes, registering everything, trying to figure out how to get back inside. So the question that doesn't close is this. If the part of you that watches has always been there, noticing the gap, catching the reflection, feeling the glass, then what exactly is it watching for?